guys, welcome back to my channel. So today's video is going to be my everyday makeup routine go-to neutral look. What? So yeah, this is just what I've been wearing the last few weeks. It's been my go-to. I love the combination of everything that I have on right now. So if you guys want to see how to create it, then just keep on watching. Alright, so right now my skin has just been washed and moisturized. I haven't put on any other products. So I don't always use a primer. I'm not going to today because I'm not going anywhere important, or I don't need my foundation to last a really long time. But if I did, I would use the Benefit Professional or the Smashbox Photo Finish. Sometimes I use both. I just use them depending on how my skin is that day. And then for foundation, this actually isn't a foundation, it's the MAC Pro Longwear Concealer, and this stuff, I swear, it is everything proof. So if you're looking for something really long lasting, I definitely recommend trying this out. It's $20 for this. I haven't used a Pro Longwear foundation, so I should probably look into that if I'm using this as a foundation, but yeah. So I just use 3 pumps of this. And I put it on the back of my hand. It's really liquidy and runny, as you can see. And then I just go ahead and put little tiny dots of this all over my face. I'm not picking up a lot of product because I'm not using a lot. I don't want to go through it super fast. And I do like to put a little bit more up underneath my eyes in this area. Because that's where I get a lot of darkness and stuff. So just to help cover that even more. So now that I have it dotted all over my face, I'm going to go in with a brush, and this is the Real Techniques buffing brush. It's just a kabuki foundation brush, and I'm going to start just buffing this all over my skin so that I get an even layer, and then I'm going to go over all of this with my beauty blender. And the reason that I like to use the brush first is so that I'm not picking up a ton of product with my beauty blender, because it does absorb quite a bit, and since I'm not using a lot of the concealer, I don't want to have to add any more than I already did. So make sure that you get your eyelids too, because this acts as a really nice eyeshadow primer. Alright, so now I'm going in with my beauty blender, and can you guys just take a minute to look at this? It is awful. There's a rip right there. The top of it ripped off. I don't know if you can see that. I really need a new one. I just don't want to spend the money on it, and it still works. So I don't feel the need to, but I'm probably going to end up having to get a new one pretty soon. And going over this with my beauty blender just makes it look so much nicer. If you don't have a beauty blender, I highly recommend one. It can make any foundation look so much better than it does. And especially if you have drier skin like me, it just helps your foundation from looking cakey and clinging to all your dry spots. So then I'll either go in with more of that concealer, but I feel I don't really need to right now. I'm just going to go ahead and use my CoverGirl Ready Set Gorgeous Concealer. And this doesn't have the best coverage, but it's really good at just brightening. So I'm going to go ahead and put that in the triangle shape under my eyes. I'm going to put a tiny bit down the bridge of my nose. I'm going to do Cupid's bow, chin, and then I don't highlight my forehead just because I don't feel I need to. Everybody's face is different though, so just highlight wherever suits you. And then to blend this out, I just use my beauty blender again. Alright, so now that is all blended out, and I'm going to go ahead and set what I have on so far. And to do that, my favorite face powder is the Rimmel Stay Matte. This is probably the 3rd or 4th one I've gone through. It's so inexpensive and just works really well. And I'm using a Sonia Kashuk powder brush. This came in a set that I got 3 years ago or something like that. But it's really fluffy, and I like that it's tapered because I can use it underneath my eyes, and it just does a really good job of fitting into that area. So I'm just picking up some powder and using a patting motion to set the concealer, and then I'm going to go ahead and dust a little bit all over the rest of my face to set the MAC concealer. Alright, so now I'm going to go in with some bronzer, and I'm going to be using my Hoola bronzer from Benefit. This is the perfect bronzer. I'm sure you guys have all seen it before, but because I am pretty pale, I just think it's the perfect shade. It's not too dark or too warm or anything. And then to contour, I really like using this e.l.f. small stippling brush. So I just kind of pat the brush in the product a few times, tap it off, and then I focus this in the hollows of my cheeks So I'll just lightly kind of go in that area. And when I do that, I like to keep the brush kind of sideways, and then I make it flat on my face and just use circular motions to blend it upwards. I'm not very heavy-handed with my bronzer. I don't use a whole lot because I am so pale. I don't want it to look too dramatic, but if you want to add more bronzer than I am, obviously feel free to do that. Alright, and then I'm going to add a little bit just up on my hairline. And then to finish it off, I just take a teeny tiny bit, like not a lot of product at all, and I'm just going to kind of put it down the side of my nose. Because, let's be honest, I have a pretty big nose, and I like to at least make it look a little bit slimmer. I know this doesn't do much, but, you know, whatever floats my boat. But now I'm just going to take a little bit of blush, and I'm going to be using the NYX blush in Mocha. This is what it looks like. It is a matte blush, and it's super pigmented, so I only pick up a little bit, but it's just this really pretty, like, peachy pink coral color. So, like, I literally just, like, tap my brush in it, and that's it. And then I'm going to go ahead, and I like to start kind of like in the back area of my cheeks, and then just work on blending it forward. Alrighty, moving on, I'm going to go in with this Sephora Micro Smooth Baked Sculpting Trio, and this is in the shade 3. This is what it looks like. I mainly got this for the highlight. I am in love with this highlight color, so I'm going to go ahead and use this highlight on my cheeks. And to do that, I'm using my Real Techniques contour brush. Alright, so I'm using the highlight on this contour brush, and I'm just putting it on the tops of my cheekbones. I like to put a little bit up here on my nose, my cupid's bow, and then a tiny bit on my chin. And then with my blush brush, I'm going to pick up the like kind of blush color. It's super shimmery, so I'm just going to use a little bit. And I just want to go over the blush that I already put on because that one doesn't have like any shimmer in it at all. So I'm just going to dust that very lightly over the blush that I already put on. And you don't have to do this step, I just love the look of like glowy cheeks, so. Okay, so now I'm all done with my face makeup. I'm going to go ahead and move on to my eyebrows, and I either use my my Benefit Gimme Brow, this is like a tinted brow gel, or I will fill them in and then go in with either a clear brow gel or that one. I feel like filling them in right now, so I'm going to do that, and to do that, I take the color... Oh, it doesn't have a name, but it's from my Smashbox Full Exposure palette. I like to just use this cool toned brown color. It's like a taupey brown color. And I just use that on this Morphe M160, what? I don't know what this is called. It's just an angled brush. So I just pick up a little bit of that product, and I start in the middle of my brow. I don't do anything crazy. Like, I keep the shape that I already have and everything. I like to just make them more defined, though, because they're not bushy enough already. And then once I get up to the front, I do kind of like draw a line right there. It's so faint though, just to give it a little bit more definition, and then I brush like upward to fill in that area without making it too harsh. Alright, then I'm going to just comb through them with a spoolie. And in the front I brush my hairs upward, and then for the rest of them, I kind of like brush them out and up. Alright, so that's like all I do for my brows because they are naturally like pretty full. I don't do a whole lot. And now I'm going to go in with this Essence Lash and Brow Gel. I hate this. I'm just putting that out there. But because I have it, I do want to finish it. So, yeah. I just don't think that it like keeps your brows hard, which I like. Like if I'm going to be using a brow gel, I want them to keep them in place. Yeah, and it's also like really wet, and I don't know, it's just weird, and it puts on too much product. So I just come through them, and then I am going to go back in with my like spoolie that I had before and just brush them through to shape them because it's really hard to with this brush. And like I said, it puts on too much product, so that just kind of like cleans that up a little bit. Okay, so that's it for my brows. Moving on to my eyes. I'm not going to prime them because I did use the MAC Pro Longwear Concealer, and like I said, that acts as like a really good eyeshadow primer. But if you need to go ahead and prime yours because you have super oily eyelids, go ahead and do that. And for eyeshadow, I switch it up, but for the most part it is pretty similar. So I'm just going to start off with a fluffy blending brush. So this one's from Sonia Kashuk. It came in the same set that the powder brush I used earlier came in. And what color do I want to use? I think I'm going to start off with this one. I'm still in my Smashbox Full Exposure palette, and this color is just the one next to what I used for my eyebrows earlier. So I'm just going to pick some up and work on blending that through my crease. This eyeshadow is super light and it doesn't do much, but I really like the way that it looks. It just acts as a nice, like, subtle transition color. Okay, so I sometimes just leave it at that, but I do want to add a little bit of color to my lids. So I'm feeling suspect right now. It's this color right here from the Naked. Oh, shit. That is seriously like the 5th color that has fallen out of this palette. Wow. Okay, anyways, I'm going to be using this color. It's called Suspect from the Naked 2 palette. It's just like a taupey gold color. I can't even explain it. It's just a really pretty lid color. Just my little e.l.f. like eyeshadow brush. It's one of their $1 ones. It's such a good deal. This is a really good brush. So yeah, I'm just going to dust that all over my lid. So I'm going to move right on to mascara, and I'm going to start off with the L'Oreal Voluminous Carbon Black. This is one of my all-time favorite mascaras, and it just has like the classic like mascara wand. There's nothing special about it. So I'm just going to go ahead and do a layer of this. Alright, so that is that, and now I'm going to go in with my Maybelline, the Rocket Mascara. The label is like completely rubbed off of this, but this is the waterproof version, and the wand on this is really similar to like the CoverGirl Lash Blast, so it's more of the rubbery one with the little spikes on it. And I like forgot about this mascara, but I found it in my collection the other day, and I was like, oh, let me try this, and I fell back in love with it. It just makes your eyelashes so separated and long, and I don't know, I just love it. And because it is waterproof, obviously that's going to kind of lock in the mascara that I already put on and then make it waterproof, so that's always good for summer. So I'm just going to go ahead and comb through my lashes with this. And for this one, I kind of like to blink on it so that it's like really pushing the wand up in between my eyelashes. And then every time that I do mascara, I like to get the back of my lashes and I kind of like set it on them, and then I like twist it and pull. I feel like that makes such a big difference with your mascara. Alright, I'm just going to zoom you guys in really quick so you can see what my eyes look like. So that's what they look like right now. It's like super subtle. I am in love with this mascara combination though. My eyelashes look so good when I use these mascaras. So yeah, this is what it looks like. And now I'm just going to finish off with my lips. And this is something that I definitely switch up a lot, but recently I've been into more like corally nude lips. So the lipstick that I'm going to use today is Spice Spice Baby, and this is from Too Faced. This is what it looks like. It's kind of like really similar to my lips. It's just a little bit darker and more orange. And these lipsticks are so like creamy. They feel really, really nice on your lips. So I'm just going to go ahead and put on some of that. So that's what that looks like. I feel like it looks a lot more noticeable on your lips than you would expect it to. But it's still not like in your face or anything. So, and then I'm going to go over it with the NYX Butter Gloss, and this is in the shade Peaches and Cream. It's not nearly as pigmented as it looks in the bottle, but it does give your lips a nice like peachy tint to them. That completes my makeup look. I hope you guys found this helpful and inspired you for like your makeup routine. I don't know. But yeah, this is like my go-to recently. I've worn this like entire makeup look quite a few times recently. So I hope you guys like it. Make sure you subscribe to my channel and like this video if you enjoyed it. And I will talk to you in my next one. Bye. I LOL'd. Oh! Why is that light here? Because my background gets really dark. I'm gonna put that in the video.
Go for it, I dare you.
Okay. Goodbye. My boobs hurt. Get out.
I'm going.
Go!
Hi everyone, so today I'm going to be filming a video for you, and it's going to be like how to get a smoky eye.
Bye.
Goodbye, farewell, toodaloo.